In today's session, we are seeing the bullish momentum in USDJPY trying to push it above the 110.5 level. And as the US session is inching closer, we are seeing some fresh impetus. And I think we are likely to see the USDJPY try to get closer to the recent swing high, and eventually I'm looking at the levels of 111 being tested in coming days, if not today. So we will be looking at the trading opportunities and what are the key levels which we can utilize to go for the trades here. If you consider the trading context for the day, there was not much important data coming in for the Asian as well as European trading session. I think for the euro area, we are scheduled to get the consumer confidence data for the month of June, and here some improvement is being expected. So we will see how it goes. And apart from that, we also have some minor releases regarding the home sales in United States, and some moderation is expected here, and this is coming on back of the red hot market for last couple of quarters, and some moderation if it happens. That's a quite positive development and not something to worry about. Later in the day, we are also scheduled to hear from the Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. Jerome Powell, and not much new is likely to come from him. I think he is going to repeat that inflation pressure, which is being observed in the US economy, is going to be transitory, and by the first half of next year, we will be seeing the inflation getting back closer to the average levels of 2% or even below that. I think it is quite hard to expect the inflation to be below 2% next year, but still we will see. And also, if we consider his recent comments on the economy, he has said that the US economy has performed better than the anticipation on back of widespread vaccination, and also now that the economy is picking pace, the labor market is also expected to perform well. So there is not much to worry about in the economy, but of course the inflation is emerging as a new concern, and that is also evident from the fact that last week the Fed decided to change its dot plot, and we are now expecting the two rate hikes earlier than anticipated in the second half of 2023. So that is something to keep in mind, and that is also the driving factor of the USD strength against its major peers in recent days. Now we will consider the technical outlook. First, we will see what are the opportunities to trade in USD/JPY. Then we will also see how the Euro USD is performing for the day. Let's start with the USD/JPY's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and if you consider the price trajectory for USD/JPY in last couple of months, after forming this low closer to 107.5, we have seen this formation of higher highs and higher lows in the daily time frame. And if we consider yesterday's sharp move first on the lower side and equally sharp reversal from there on, it is also in line with this formation, and now it looks likely that the USD/JPY is going to go past its prior hurdle. This prior resistance of around 110.9, and even this time around the high was pretty close. It was below that, but quite close, and I am now expecting in this move it is likely to surpass this, and 111 level can be expected to be breached in coming days. So if we have to trade in today's session, I think any buy trade closer to 110.5 can be initiated, provided we see no sharp move on the either side. And as of now, the USD/JPY has traded in a narrow range, and it has been hovering closer to 110.5. So I think we can utilize this fresh break above the first resistance of this month's pivot point series, and try to go and take advantage of this bullish momentum prevalent in the USD/JPY. If you consider the regression curve, after almost being flat, now it is started to incline on the higher side. And if the price momentum enters in this up band, then I think we will see fast moves happening in USDJPY, and the next level of resistance, which is closer to 111.2, can be reached in no time. So for today's session, the price area of around 110.3 can be utilized as a critical marker. And as long as USD is trading above this convergence of two SMAs, 50 and 100 SMAs, which are converging closer to 110.3, I think we can be fairly confident while initiating the buy trade. And the stop loss can be kept just little below these 200 SMA. So price zone of around 110.5 is also a good choice, but the only thing is that stop loss is going to be a bit wider. And if you are trading from the purely intraday perspective, then I think the stop loss need not be kept that wide, and the stop loss just little below the day's low should be good enough for entry anywhere in the price band of 110.4 to 110.5 or closer to that. Right now, the USDJPY is getting close to 110.6, and it will be bit difficult to expect it to correct from the current levels. But given the fact that we are always look out for a optimum risk reward ratio, I think going for a market open is not really a good idea from risk reward perspective. Otherwise, the momentum is bullish. So it might happen that USDJPY goes on to rise from the current levels, but we will have to be cautious. And in today's session, I am expecting the retest of this high established in the aftermath of FOMC announcement last week. So these levels can be reached by the USDJPY maybe in today's session itself. So that's what we are banking on. Now shifting attention to the Euro USD. This is the daily time frame chart, and the Euro USD's longer term momentum has now shifted to the bearish side. But given the fact that it has already seen this substantial decline of almost closer to 300 pips, I'm expecting next couple of days to experience some consolidation sideways moves for the Euro USD, and that is why I'm not really relying on swing trading strategy here, but rather than that, we can try to take advantage of these sideways momentum and look to go for scalping trades. And for that, we will mostly have to rely on the lower time frame charting, as this daily time frame chart is not likely to provide us the good entry points. So looking at the lower time frame chart, we have this second support of this month pivot point series around 100 and 1.189. I was just remembering USD JPY's level of 100. For Euro USD, it is 1.189 or thereabout. And if we consider the price formation for last two sessions, the Euro USD has traded mostly in a narrow range, and for today's session also, I am not really expecting big moves for the Euro USD. Rather than that, it is likely to consolidate in this narrow range in between 1.185 on the lower side and 1.19 on the higher side. And we can take advantage of these and try to initiate the scalping trade using these range. Whenever we have the Euro USD trading closer to the lower range, we can look to initiate the buy trade. And when we have the Euro USD trading closer to sell trade, and if we feel like it might go on to decline, at least to some extent from those highs, I think it is better to go for the shorting opportunities. If we consider the technical formation, both these technical parameters are pointing to the continuation of the bearishness. But here I am not expecting one-sided move, and not in today's session, and that is why for intraday perspective only, I am thinking of both the sides. So if you want to trade in today's session, keep in mind these immediate support closer to 1.185 on the lower side, and this 50 SMA can be utilized as a critical marker. For the time being, the Euro USD is consolidating closer to 1.19 0, and on the higher side we have this high, immediate high established closer to 1.192, and I think this is the price area which can help us in looking for shorting opportunities. So it will be prudent for us to go for short sale if we see the Euro USD struggling to cross above 1.192, and in that case, we can expect the Euro USD to again try to get closer to these prior swing lows. The price area of around 1.186 or thereabout can be expected to be retested by Euro USD, as we are relying on the sideways momentum, and as a result of that, some range bound moves can be expected, and we can utilize this price formation of immediate swing lows and immediate swing highs while looking to initiate the trade. So I would say that short it closer to the prior swing high, of course after due consolidation. And if it breaks beyond that, then it is better to sit on the sidelines rather than persisting with our short sale trade. And on the lower side, we will have to wait. I don't really think that going for a long trade from the current levels is advisable. And in today's session, it will be better to keep searching for a shorting opportunity whenever we feel that after getting closer to the prior swing high, some sort of correction can be expected. So that's my take looking at the current price action of the Euro USD. And if any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.